Now, today is International Women's Day. Across the globe, millions of people are expected to gather to celebrate both the successes of the women's movement and to fight for gender equality and an end to violence against women. Events kicked off early in Spain today. Hundreds of women congregating in the centre of Madrid just after midnight, banging pots and pans. The women there protested against the far-right Vox party, who are calling for gender equality laws in the country to be scrapped. Let's get a big picture then for International Women's Day and bring in Katja Iversen, the president of Women Deliver and part of the G7 Council on Gender Equality. Good morning to you and thanks very much for talking to us today here on France 24. As a long-standing gender equality campaigner, tell us, what's your focus for this year? Is it about closing the gender pay gap, combating violence, or is it something else altogether?
So what we really need to see is strong investments in girls and women, in gender equality, financially, economically, and politically. Because we know that when we invest in girls and women, there is a ripple effect that goes way beyond the individual. It benefits everybody. It's a smart thing to do, and it's the right thing to do. So the focus is going to be getting the proper policies in place and changing gender norms. So whether we're talking, equal pay for equal work, proper parental leave, good childcare, education, including sexuality education, more women in leadership. And one of the really fundamentals for a woman to be able to live her full potential is to be able to decide on her own body, on her own life. So access to contraception, safe abortion, sexuality education and such is key if we want to see that progress that's waiting, both economically, politically, and socially.
Yeah, now you will be.
We also need to look at. Yeah.
Go ahead.
You continue. Okay. We also need all of us to look at, how do we talk about women? Are they just pretty and nice, or are they also smart and fast and strong? So the narrative around how women are depicted in marketing, in the way we talk, is important, and because that is also what creates gender norms. And we got to tackle that.
Yes, and of course you'll be going to the G7 summit in Biarritz later on this year to tell the leaders from the 7 richest countries in the world what change needs to happen for women. What's your message going to be to them? And do you think the G7, what is a pretty, seen by some people, an elitist club of some of the world's richest leaders, the best way to affect change for women?
So before the big G7 meeting in Biarritz, we have the Women Deliver global conference where we bring together the whole world to focus solely on gender equality and women's health and rights. And that's heads of states from all over the world, heads of UN agencies, activists, advocates, journalists, to really tackle and look at the solutions. Then moving into the summit and meeting the heads of states, the council it's a really strong council, and the focus will be action. Last year in the Gender Council to the G7 established by Prime Minister Trudeau, we looked at the broad range of what needs to be done and commitments we need to see. And the president of France of this year said, now it's action. Now you need to tell us what it is to do. Yes, it is the G7, and yes, it is the richest countries in the world. And it's not that the political part, but it's also the economic part. Use the political capital that they have across the globe, but also the financial, and really stand by what they promise and their words, whether it's investment in women's organization, whether it's investment in gender equality at large. What we will also see in Biarritz, which is very reassuring, is that the president will be bringing many other countries together. So gender equality for the G7 is not just a nice to do, it really is a need to do if we want to see all the G7 priorities kind of established, but also general development in the world, north, south, east, and west. So yes, today is Women's Day. If you ask me, every day should be Women's Day, not just one day a year.
All right. Well, we are nonetheless marking it today. And thank you very much for your thoughts and for your time there. That's Katja Iversen talking to us there. She's the president of Women Deliver. And thanks